Hello, my name's Chris and I'll be leading us in this devotion today. Just before I start, I just want to say how much I've really enjoyed watching these videos, and it's really helped to see other people from the church family contributing, and yeah, it's good to see people, basically. So thank you very much if you've contributed to the video, or you will be doing. So let's move on to the passage. It's Luke 17 verse 1 to 6. Jesus said to his disciples, "Things that cause people to stumble are bound to come, but woe to anyone through whom they come. It would be better for them to be thrown into the sea with a millstone tied around their neck than to cause one of those little ones to stumble. So watch yourselves. If your brother or sister sins against you, rebuke them. If they repent, forgive them. And even if they sin against you 7 times a day, and 7 times they come back to you saying, 'I repent,' you must forgive them." The apostles said to the Lord, "Increase our faith." He replied, "If you have faith as small as a mustard seed, you can say to the mulberry tree, 'Be uprooted and be planted in the sea,' and it will obey you." So I don't know about you, but for 6 verses, it seems like there's quite a lot going on there, as I suppose is typical in the Bible. It starts off by giving us a reality check, I guess, to say that temptation is bound to come. And I like the fact that the Bible is being realistic. Sometimes Christians are a bit overly positive, unrealistic, expecting that life's going to be a walk in the park. But the Bible is telling us that that is not realistic. And then it goes on to talk about being the cause of other people's temptation. And it doesn't mince its words, saying it would be better for them to be thrown into the sea with a millstone tied around their neck. Heavy. So, at this stage, when I was planning what I was going to say, I was thinking about who would be watching this, and I've had a little look at the past videos that have been put on YouTube, and I noticed that probably the maximum was about 30 views, and so I thought, maybe 30 people would be watching, and probably those people, they're probably quite hardcore Holy Trinity people, and therefore I was going to come up with a list of kind of temptations that those people might be leading people into. So things like gossiping. Are you causing other people joining your gossip and fall into temptation? Are you flaunting your wealth in front of people and causing people to covet? And I think it's good to think about those kind of things. And I know that I'm influenced by what other people do. And I know sometimes other people are influenced by what I do. So I think it is really important to think about that kind of stuff. But something happened to me last weekend. Basically, I found out that someone who I know very well had done some things that they shouldn't do, and some darkness in their life had been exposed. And I can't really go into the details, but the passage here talks about causing little ones to stumble, and this person is called little ones to stumble. And I don't know if your mind's racing, but it's probably as bad as you think it is. And it got me to thinking that you never really know what's going on in people's lives. And so I don't know who's watching this actually, and I don't know, even if I do know the people, I don't know what's going on in their lives. what darkness might be there. And I just want to say that if you're watching this and you've got something that you're doing that's seriously wrong, you need to seek help before it gets any worse. And I wish my friend, he had heard that advice and he'd followed that advice. And so, because the passage mentions that, I just wanted to say that really. Then next bit of the passage, it goes on to talk about forgiveness. And I think if you speak to people from the world, that they'll tell you forgiveness is a good thing. But I think as Christians, it's not just about being less bitter or having weights taken off your shoulder. I need forgiveness from God every day, and we're asked to be like God and therefore forgive other people. And it obviously mentions in the Lord's Prayer, forgiving others as God has forgiven us. I once heard Roger of Morgan say something that's really helpful on this subject, and he said, if you ever got someone who you kind of feel a bit resentful towards, you're struggling to forgive, then what you need to do is to pray for that person, because it's really hard to pray blessings on someone but also resent them at the same time. And I've had people I've worked with in the past who I've found difficult to work with, and I've really, by praying for them, I've really found that helpful. So it's a little practical tip for you. And then the last bit of it is about faith, which is, really powerful, but I think gets spoken about a lot in churches, so I'm not going to go over that again. So I think that's almost the end of what I wanted to say. In a minute, you'll have that really funky music playing, but some people say a prayer before it finishes, but I want you to say a prayer for me. Say a prayer for my friend who's in this difficult situation, and say a prayer for the other people who are watching, based on what we've spoken about today. Thank you very much.